Alright, here's another game. This one's called My Time at Portia. So, I've actually already played this game quite a bit, but I'm going to show you what it looks like from a new game. So, let's get started. So, first thing, you get to customize your character. You can choose your gender, your hair, your clothes, typical stuff. Let's see, I'll make someone and show it. Well, actually, I don't really care that much, so I'm just going to choose this. I chose this guy on random, and I'm going to confirm it. Like most of these games, you can change your appearance later, but you can't change your gender, so choose that. And then you get to choose your birthday, and then it starts something like this. You sail into this place. Here you are. It's exciting. You're coming into Portia. And you are met by this guy, Presley. He's going to introduce you to your workshop. And here we are. We start out with this little shack and a little yard. Whoa, my guy's pretty weird looking, isn't he? And here it is. Let's look at what it's all about. So it skips the first day, and then you wake up in this place, and it's all dingy and dilapidated, and you're supposed to fix it because your stamina points down at the bottom. You don't get full points until you repair your place. So it gives you an incentive to get started, make it look nice. Alright, so if you ever played Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, this should look pretty familiar. You get to start out with a yard, some assembly stations, a little mailbox, and then there's some people you can interact with. And this is what the menu looks like. There's a map that's mostly fogged out right now, but as you progress in the game, you get to reveal it. And there's a bunch of characters I'm going to get to interact with, but I haven't met any of them yet besides Presley, so I don't know. But even on Presley, you can see that there's 10 stars, which indicate your relationship level, and different options are available based on how good of friends you are with people. These are the buildings that I can make, which let you craft things. So you can see I start with some options already. About 10 things I can build, and then as you progress it fills out, and there's a quest log of things you're supposed to do. So in this game you take the role of a builder, which means you take contracts and you fulfill them. You have to gather the resources and be able to make them, and then you get stuff in exchange. And there's a skill tree. So this is kind of an RPG aspect that's nice. You get better at stuff as you progress. You get experience for building things and fulfilling contracts and all that. Here's your inventory. You can see that there's 6 item slots that you can equip to increase your stats. And then the stats are there on the left, typical RPG style. And right now I can only carry 16 things, which isn't very much in terms of this game, but as you get more money you can unlock more inventory space. There's a calendar. The day goes by days. Every day is a save point, so you can only save at the end of the day, and there is usually a festival every month that has some sort of significance. There's a martial arts tournament, ghost hunting festival, a horse racing festival, an autumn festival, and so on. And then, in kind of a fun Pokemon Snap kind of way, you can take pictures of things and then review them later. Alright, I'm just going to charge through town so you can get kind of a view of what it looks like. It's a pretty aesthetically pleasing town. It's got all kinds of little nooks and crannies you can explore, different people you can meet, different shops, and it's not so big that it gets frustrating. You eventually learn your way around, but it's big enough that it stays interesting. There's enough to explore to keep you occupied. So the background story of this game, I guess, is this is like a post-apocalyptic world. There was 1,000 years of darkness or something, and then there's all these ancient ruins, like that stuff you can see in the background. And then there's the more modern stuff that was made. by people following the I don't know what they call it, like the restoration or something. And so it's kind of an interesting balance of things like, you know, windmills and more basic technologies contrasted with ancient sewers and power plants and stuff. And that's kind of played out in the game by these two factions. There's this sort of religious-seeming faction. These guys, they want to keep all the technology from being developed, and then there's another faction, the science folks, who want to do all the ruin delving and restore things to how they were. So when you first walk up to a ruin, you meet this guy. He says, hey, you want to do some ruin diving? And he's going to explain it. He gives me a jetpack and a scanner so I can walk around, and then I have to pay my way to get in. What do I need to pay? I need to pay 80 gold. So I didn't actually bother to make a pickaxe or anything, so I can't dig, but you can get sort of an idea. You see there's a different colored thing here, and that's how they represent different minerals. So this is copper, and then this is just basic dirt. And then I have this scanner activated. I can turn it on, and I can see on this 3D grid that there's stuff down here. So I would, you know, stand above it, and I would dig down, and then I would find a relic or something. And so that's a big part of this game, is you dig around on this 3D grid and you try to find stuff. And then I have this jetpack, so if I get too far low, then I can just fly my way out. So yeah, you do a lot of ruin digging in this game. There's this nice loading screen. Okay, so I wanted to show you what it looks like at the start, and then this is the game that I've been playing for a while. You can see my house is much bigger, I got a pet, and the house is full of stuff. So that's neat. And I'll walk you around the property a little bit. I've got this big factory, and these are, you know, planting bins, so I can gather resources. This is a automated builder, so that crane will do the stuff that I tell it to. You get animals, and you get aquariums. This is my horse, and this is my llama. I like the llama. You can ride on it, and it hops around. It's pretty cool. It goes way faster. I don't want to spoil the game too much, so I'm not going to show that much, but these are all people you meet pretty close or soon to the beginning. So I ended up marrying this person, Phyllis, and then you can get friends. And as you become friends, you can choose to hang out with them, and there's certain bonuses that you get. So you can see there's there's relation perks you get. So most characters have these sort of things, so there's an incentive to improve your relationships with people, and you learn their preferences, and you learn more about them. So this character, I've made it to level 48, and she looks way cooler than the other guy. You get all kinds of neat items, and this game is not very challenging. That's not really what it's about. So for example, you know, there is a combat element, but basically you just button mash, and it's pretty easy. You can use this to dodge, and yeah, there's not really any consequence for dying or losing or anything. So this game is pretty mellow in that regard. This happens to be the day of a festival, so I'll show you what it looks like. Here's a martial arts tournament. These are great days because everyone gathers around really easily, so you don't have to hunt them down, and you can make friends pretty easily. You talk to everyone, you give them gifts, and building relationships is a big part of this game. This means this guy has some sort of a quest he wants me to do. He wants to invite me to hang out. So, sure, yeah, let's hang out tomorrow. And I meet him tomorrow, and then we go on like a date situation where it's not necessarily romantic, but you just hang out with them, and you talk about stuff, and you give them gifts. So that's kind of a neat element of this game, is you get to make friends and meet new people and help them with their stuff, and they help you. So yeah, it's sort of a Harvest Moony aspect of this game that I think is compelling and keeps you playing. Alright, so summarizing thoughts on my time at Portia. There's a lot of love put into that game. I really like a lot of the details, and there's a lot of different characters you can interact with, so you really can get kind of your own expression of what you want to do in the game. But in other ways, the game seems a bit rough around the edges. Like some things are a little glitchy, and at a certain point, it's like, why even bother continue playing? You know, you've done pretty much all the main quests and stuff. But I guess any game is like that. Really, you reach the end, so it's either your game or it's not your game. It's not really challenging. It's a bit of a time sink. Some things feel monotonous, but it also feels pretty, like, really wholesome. You know, it feels like you get to make another family and make friends and stuff. So that can be a nice thing for some people. Um, it's definitely in the same vein as, like I said, Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley. So if you liked either of those games, you'll probably like this one. The 3D graphics of it are an interesting change of pace, a little bit more Minecrafty, but it definitely heavily plays on the relationship aspect of the game rather than just the crafting aspect. So it's fulfilling in a different way than something like Terraria is, where it's just crafting exclusively. So yeah, that's the review for my time in Portia. Um, I'd recommend it if that's your genre. If it's not, probably steer clear. I got it on the Humble Indie Bundle in December 2019, so if you scored it there, give it a look-see. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure what it's listed at, but I'll put it on the video. Thanks for watching.